Welcome to the midweek mailbag. We are out of the bye week. We are ready for some more Detroit Lions action. We're going to bring it to you here on our midweek mailbag, where we answer all of your Detroit Lions questions. Well, I guess technically not all of them. The ones that we like the most. My name is Jeremy Reisman. I'm the producer over at Pride of Detroit. You can find me at Detroit Online and on Twitter, X, whatever. With me, as always, helping me answer all of your questions, is the managing editor of Pride of Detroit, is the machine, is Erik Schlitt on Twitter with a K. Don't forget it. Erik Schlitt is here. Buddy, how are we doing tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was really looking forward to this show until I tuned into your show last night and saw the fact that I have an egg coming my way that I was not prepared for.
Oh.
So,
well, I gave you 24 hours to prepare for it, mentally and physically.
Oh, no, I've prepared now.
I hope you're not.
I'm ready.
I hope you're not going to be wearing that nice new hoodie while you're doing it.
Oh, no. This is my new hoodie's coming off. But yeah.
But that is a good reminder that we're in the month of November, or Movember as we do it. We're raising money for the Alzheimer's Association. Hang out during our live feeds where you get to see all of the crazy antics that we do during these streams. You can catch us on youtube.com/@Pride of Detroit or twitch.tv/Pride of Detroit. But let's get into the question portion. Let's tarry no further. Let's jump right into it. And like we do with our Twitter Spaces, or whatever we were calling them, let's kick this off with our good friend Dan Pask, who asks on Twitter, as Eli Manning, I suppose he's talking about, spoke about all night, which the Jets wouldn't do because Bosa and Mack, to chip or not to chip? What do you think? And I assume this means to chip block, to help your tackles out with edge rushers by chipping them either with a running back, a tight end, or maybe even a 6 offensive lineman. Do you have a strong opinion on chip blocking in general, or is it more situational for you?
I think it's something you can do. It's a tool, right? I don't think it's necessary because there are other ways to mitigate an explosive pass rush. They have 2 really dynamic pass rushers, actually a third if you start looking a little deeper on their bench as well. They'll utilize all 3 guys, and throwing a chip at them every once in a while is a good idea. I don't think it's an every down type of thing that you need to do, but it's to have it in your arsenal is, I think, a nice advantage to deploy.
Yeah, I think part of it is that you can catch even some of the best edge rushers off guard with a chip. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the guy that's right in front of him, right? It could be a pulling tackle that comes in and helps chip. And I know it's technically not called a chip when it's, someone from the other side necessarily. But yeah, I think it's smart to just give an edge rusher different looks. You don't want to do it every time, because then you're letting them kind of dictate what you do, right? And sometimes there's a player like that is going to dictate what you want to do on offense. But the reason why, what part of the reason I wanted to bring this up was because we talked to Steve Hyden today, the tight ends coach, and we talked about blocking Max Crosby. And sometimes you're gonna have to rely on a tight end to do it. And I know, like, it's a Twitter meme, like, never have your tight end one-on-one with an edge. And he kind of explained why they do it. And of course he's like, well, we're not going to do it every time. We don't want that every time. We don't want to put our players in a position like that every time. But at the same time, we want to run what we want to run. We want to enforce our will on the defense, and not vice versa. And so, it might, you may want to think Joey Bosa needs to be chipped every play, or Khalil Mack needs to be chipped every play, or whatever. The Lions are going to ultimately do on offense what they want to do. And if that means they want their tight ends out in space, they're not going to chip as much. If they want their running backs out in space running routes, they're not going to do it as much. If they are comfortable with David Montgomery in their chip blocking, they're going to do that. They're going to do essentially what they think is best for their offense. And sure, they're going to consider what's going on defense, but ultimately they don't want to stray too far from what they're doing. And they kind of want to maintain the power in this relationship, so to speak, of like, we want to do what we want to do. You can go ahead and try to do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Bosa he's I think he's fully back from his injury now,
Yeah.
or at least looks like he's pretty good. And Mac is I think he's almost 33 now,
But he
but
has
he's
like 8 or
still
9 sacks or something.
yeah, he's still his incredible self.
Yeah.
And so they have to be accounted for.
Yeah.
The fortunate part about the Chargers defense is that you can attack the middle
Yeah.
of that line, and so you can do quick passes to eliminate that pass rush. You can do screens to eliminate them trying to get upfield too quickly. There's a lot of mitigating factors that you can incorporate to slow these guys down. But chipping, I think, definitely should be in the arsenal.
Yep, and I'm sure it will be. Next question here from Ryan in Toledo on Twitter asks, we have seen second half of the season improvements from this team in both of the first 2 years of this regime. Where do you see the most potential for a second half of the season jump? Is it crazy to think it comes from the offense? So we were talking a little bit about this on the show yesterday, how, year one, they made some offensive changes. The offense improved. Year two, you obviously make some big changes on defense. Defense improves. So, one, do you think there's potential for that happening again? And where would you see it if it does happen?
I think there's a lot of little things that could happen. I think almost at every point on their roster, you could see improvements here or there.
Sure.
From sometimes it's just little, nitpicking things to other parts of the roster. You're looking for bigger improvements. But I mean, look, Dan Campbell talked about the fact that they need to be more efficient in the red zone.
Yep.
You're hoping that a healthy interior offensive line plus David Montgomery helps cure that.
Yep.
But that was definitely something that was lagging the last 3 weeks when Montgomery and Jonah were both out.
Yep.
Turnovers could be a little bit better. They were ahead. Now they had a couple against the Raiders, so now they're back down to kind of even on the year. I think they're actually dead even, have as many takeaways as giveaways through the first 8 games. So, but it would be nice to get into the plus column again there, right?
Sure.
And so those are the two. He talked about a third one.
The third quarter.
Was that? Oh, geez.
Improvement in the third quarter, yeah.
Yeah, because coming out of that half slow, right?
Yep.
So I agree with all three of those. And when you start looking at their stats, stats are always subjective, right?
Sure.
But when you start looking at these like overall kind of like general stats at the halfway point, I think what the three things that Dan Campbell pointed out are all three very spots that really show up, right?
Yep.
Like they're in the top 10 here, they're in the top 15 here, they're in the top half of the league in almost everything. And it's like, oh wait, you could be a little bit better in red zone efficiency. You could be a little bit better here. And so those are the areas that you'd like to see beyond just like the little nitpicking that you can do with every position group.
Yeah. I guess if I were to pick out maybe a specific position group, I do think it might be pass rush. And I know, and we, again, talked about this a little bit yesterday, like you look at the overall pressures and the Lions are top 5, top 10, whatever. But if you look at the time,
177.
But if you look at the time it's taking for them to get there, they're one of the slowest to create pressure. And
sure.
This is going to bleed into another question, but I think the Lions need to reimagine their pass rushing overall strategy. I think, and we've talked plenty about, when they're facing these mobile quarterbacks and they're going to continue to face mobile quarterbacks in the second half of the season. They've been all about contain, right? Let's not lose our rushing lanes. Let's not allow people to quarterbacks to get out of the pocket and either create more time or gain yards with their legs. And listen, they're not going to stray too far from that. That's a core tenet, I think, of what they want to do. But at the same time, I think they also know that they can't just let their quarterback there sit in the pocket for 6 seconds and find someone wide open. I don't know if they have the guys on the back end to do that with all the injuries they've had back there. So fundamentally speaking, I think they're going to try to find new ways to generate pressure. I feel like the one thing this regime has done very well of in the past 2 years is recognizing areas of weakness around this time of year and changing how they do things. They're not afraid to change how they do things from a fundamental standpoint. We talk about the offensive changes they made in year one, but they also made pretty significant defensive changes, right? from that. Sure. They two-gapped more after wanting to be more of an attacking defensive front. So I just don't think they're going to shy away from significant schematic changes if they need it. And to me, that continues to be the place where I'm concerned the most. Is I don't think they're bringing enough consistent, fast pressure to quarterbacks, and that'll lead to some of the stuff you were talking about. Like their turnover numbers on defense have plummeted recently. They're not creating a ton of turnovers, and I think a lot of that is due because they're not making quarterbacks uncomfortable. That's the easiest way to create pressure is to create turnovers is to make the opposing quarterback uncomfortable. So I don't know if I have any specific answers on what they're going to do, but I think that's got to be an area of focus, even if they're not saying it publicly.
I do think the schematic approach is part of what's holding that back, right? Yeah. Because in the last 3 games, you played a mobile quarterback that you in Lamar, which torched him. You played a mobile quarterback in Baker, who actually was better out of the pocket than in. So he was trying to get out all the time, and so they tried to play contain on him. Yep. And then when you had that stagnant quarterback in Garoppolo, they teed off and they got 6 sacks or whatever, right?
Yep.
But for me, I might tweak what you're saying and have it be more about like finishing, right?
Sure.
Because they have generated 177 pressures. Okay, so let's use the Chargers as an example for perspective. The Chargers have 170, so they have 7 less pressures than the Lions through 8 games,
and they're tied for 7 sacks.
But they have 31 sacks, and the Lions have 21.
Right,
and so they're second in the league because they're finding ways to finish, and I think that's really the thing that's holding them back. 177 pressures, 21 sacks. That could be higher. It should be higher.
Sure.
And I mean, and you could point at individuals, but I really think the schematic approach to the mobile quarterback situation has really hindered them because half of their games, it felt like, were against mobile quarterbacks in the first half. And so they were constantly playing contain instead of attack. And, this week I think they're going to get to attack. And hopefully those sacks come up.
Herbert's got a little bit of movement to him.
Oh, sure. He's
not gonna run for 80 yards or anything like that. But
he can move.
He can move, and you got Justin Fields, and who knows what's going to happen with Josh Dobbs in Minnesota. Even Jordan Love can move a little bit. So this isn't an issue that necessarily is going to go away in the second half. We're going to have to see if they adjust.
The caveat with the mobile quarterbacks that they've faced versus the mobile quarterbacks that are left on the schedule is the mobile quarterbacks they faced can also throw the ball.
Okay.
Whereas the ones in the back half,
fair.
A little bit sketchy on that.
That's fair. Kind of working its way into this conversation, a question from Camp Soup at Jamcar187 asks, how often does the Lions defense blitz compared to other teams in the NFL? And so let me start with the very bare basics of the answer to this question. This is based on Pro Football Reference. They have the 5th lowest blitz percentage in the league, which is at 21.5%. The league average is pretty close to 25%, although I did recently see one of those charts showing how crazy Brian Flores is in sending 6 or more. The Lions are actually very close to average in terms of percentage of sending 6 players or more, but in terms of just overall blitz percentage, one of the lowest in the league. I guess the question is does that change? And maybe again, that's more game plan specific because it sure seemed like they blitzed a lot more against the Raiders last week.
Yeah, I think that's, again, it's schematic based on the type of quarterback.
Yeah.
You didn't blitz Lamar but you blitzed Garoppolo like crazy because he was there. Like you have a stationary target that you can go after. And so, I expect it. I expect Glenn to dial up the blitz when he gets the opportunity against, and there's opponents that will, succumb to that pressure. So I actually like the fact that he's dialed it back where remember he used to be number 1.
Sure.
Right. Like, and they were getting burned because he was just like, he was sending everybody all the time.
Yep.
I like that he dialed it back because it goes against his gut, right? Like his gut instinct is to send everybody.
And it shows an ability to change.
Right. And that's what I like about it is that he said, man, my gut instinct is wrong here. And so let's back this off. But I do like that he's letting some of it leak out as well, because he's shown good timing with it, when to let the guys go loose. And, it's the sacks, they come in bunches sometimes, because when you turn somebody loose and they get rattled, he just starts firing them off at them.
Yep.
Like that. We saw that it was like Anzalone, and then a playoff, and then a Liam, and then Anzalone again, and then it was off the field. Right. So I like his approach better to blitzing.
Yeah.
I wish they would change their contain approach against mobile quarterbacks a little bit more. Maybe they will. That goes into like what we talked, one of the questions earlier, which was what kind of changes might they be making? That would be nice to see that change.
The one thing I will say that's at least a little bit surprising about the blitz rate is that obviously blitzing in general is very game specific too, game situation. So not just who you're playing, not just the opponents you're playing, but the actual game situation you're in. And since the Lions, one, they're good against the run, they should be getting into a lot of third and longs, which means more chances to blitz, but they're also jumping out to big leads, right? They've won all 5 out of the 6 wins have been by 2 possessions, which means at some point in that game, their opponents are going very pass heavy, which again, more opportunities to blitz, more opportunities to send pressure. Yet the fact that they're still, despite being in those very blitz friendly situations in just about every game this year, obviously Baltimore excluded, it's a little bit surprising to see their blitz percentage so low. And so, like, I think they've pulled back a little bit too much at this point. I'd like to see them push it back up. And the results speak for themselves to me. That Raiders game, that wasn't a bad Raiders offensive line, by the way. That was actually one of the better in terms of pass protection.
Pass blocking.
Yeah. They were like a top 10 unit in the league, and the Lions rose to the occasion, and I think partially because of the blitz. And so let's push a little bit more in that direction. I think there's something there.
Well, keep in mind, of those 6 sacks, it was Anzalone had 2, Tracy Walker had 1, and Aleem had 2.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, you really were getting it from your non-traditional guys, right? Yep. The only edge guy that got one was Julian. So, and it's the blitz got home 3 times in that game, and I'd like to see more of it. I'm with you.
All right. Sticking with the defensive line here, I got a lot of questions about this guy this week. Lions fans 860 asks, what is the plan with Broderick Martin going forward? Very mixed results in his debut, and is it going to cost Buggs or Benito Jones? Is Buggs still in the doghouse?
Well, I do think Martin's going to get some more opportunities in the second half, and I do think it will come at the cost of Buggs.
Yeah.
Benito is a guy that they've shown a lot of preference towards, and that kind of DT3 spot, it was Levi, then it was Buggs for a while, and then to get Martin on the field, that's kind of the way they went this week, was to put Martin in and Buggs to the bench. But it's a numbers game. Like the way that they play, they only keep 3 interior guys active. And if your starters are Aleem and Benito, something's got to give with the remaining guys. And right now, and last week it was Martin getting his opportunity. And I think Martin has the most potential.
Yeah.
So I do think it will come at the expense of Buggs, probably not Benito though.
Yeah, to me, it's still kind of hard to read this situation and what they really think about Broderick Martin. I mean, obviously, the expectation is he's going to be a huge contributor. You don't draft someone in the was the end of the second round or the third? It was the third. Okay.
Third.
Without an expectation for him to be a significant part of your defense. But I mean, we talked to John Scott today, and he was asked about Broderick Martin, and he gave a lot of like, it's a huge learning curve. There was a lot of good and bad, and like a lot of very non-compliments, but trying to, soften the landing, so to speak.
Sure.
And so would it surprise me at all if Broderick Martin was inactive on Sunday? Not even in the slightest. No. Not even in the slightest.
I'm with you.
He wasn't particularly good. I think we can be honest with how he performed. He was in on the first 5 or 6 plays, of the one good offensive drive from the Raiders on Monday night, and a lot of that was just running right up the middle. And so that matters. Like this team, especially against a good opponent like the Chargers and a decent running game with a good running back, I think you could very much see him pull back. I do think, but we certainly haven't seen the last of Broderick Martin. He's going to get significant playing time in the second half of the season because I think he's starting to earn it in practice. But at the same time, this team, I don't know, this team is carrying two different priorities this year, whereas in the previous years, it's like, let's develop our young players. That is primary goal number one. If we get a wild card, awesome. That's great. Now you're competitors. Now you're a team that you're not only striving to win the division, not only striving to make the playoffs, you're striving for some postseason success. And so that might mean pulling a little bit back on developing some of your young guys if they're a liability out there. And that's the conundrum that you have with Broderick Martin, because you want to develop this guy. You don't want to ride him on the bench forever. The only way a guy coming from Western Kentucky is going to get better is being out there on the field. And so it's kind of an interesting push and pull with a guy like him. But I think maybe in a week like this might be a week to pull him back a little bit.
I really think the performance during the week is going to dictate who plays.
It usually does.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. They're very heavy-handed with that. Is while Bugs might be a better matchup, if Martin has the better week of practice, then they're going to play Martin.
Yeah.
And that could, and so I don't know if there's anything that we can definitively say other than we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to depend on the players, and it's going to depend on what they do from week to week. And I think beyond the starters, that third spot's going to be a weekly up for grabs position.
Yep, no question. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, more of your Lions questions here on the midweek mailbag. We'll be right back. Okay, we're on break. We have some people to thank, some subs to thank. We'll answer some of your questions while we're on break because we love our live audiences. We love our Twitch and YouTube crowds that hang around every time we do one of these.
Benito's a restricted free agent, by the way.
There you go. Okay, let's start with some donations that we got off stream after we went off air last night. This morning, John Pfaff, I should say, $20 donated to the Alzheimer's Association. Thank you so much. Mary Lamos, $25 raised for the Alzheimer's Association. Says thank you for raising money to end Alzheimer's, of course.
Hail Mary. She's got the best nickname, Hail Mary.
It's true. I
love that nickname.
That is a great Twitter handle. RGA, $20 donated. Says no more egg smashing.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm down.
No, that's not how this works.
What?
And then Beggy.
We have to listen to the people, Jeremy.
No, that's I don't know. Beggy Robertson, $100 donated to the Alzheimer's Association. Says, I love Eric's laugh and you, my favorite Lions podcast. Thank you.
Nice.
Appreciate that, Becky. None of those redeemed a reward, so no, we don't have to do anything from that. There are some residue from previous streams.
I'm itching. I keep like itching. Like, okay, I was going to trim my beard like this because it's to the point where I have it. The gray is pronounced.
Sure.
But I was like, I'm going to leave it just so it gets more dramatic or whatever. Right. But
smash it right into the beard?
I'm like itchy now. I'm like, oh man, I can feel it coming.
It's also worth noting that we are, some donation just came in. I can't see it on my screen because my screen's tiny on my, Mike the Marine, $20 donated. Says, happy 248th birthday to the United States Marine Corps, 11/10/2023. Hey, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, man. And well said. Appreciate you. So yeah, that puts us in total at $6,770 already raised through 7 days of Movember. And that puts us $230 away from another spin on the Wheel of Pain, which we have already done 6 times. Which let me see if I can get this correct. I've done up downs twice.
Well,
Whipped cream in the face twice.
I saw. Okay.
Yep.
I saw the whipped cream egg thing at the end. That was the third one.
Yep.
Okay.
Both Chris and I did spoonful of wasabi yesterday as well. So that's the 6 so far.
I saw those.
The ones we haven't done yet.
By the way, I'm glad you were asking for a spoon check, because that was the first thing that I saw. I was like, wait, was there a spoon check? And then, because that looks terrible.
It's not. That really made my stomach feel weird too.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't even have it in the house, so
I didn't either. I went out and bought it because to be honest, like I don't like wasabi with my sushi. I love sushi. I don't like wasabi.
No,
I don't like horseradish, and it's basically the same thing. Damien, thank you for the 2 whatever. 2 pounds, we're gonna say. I think that's a pounds. It says MVP talk is dead. Can Goff still make All Pro? Well, he'd have to be the best in the NFC, right? All Pros is split by conference. Is that true? No, that's not true.
No, All Pro is regardless.
Is there 1 or 2 quarterbacks?
One, and then I think there's
a second team.
I think it's just one, yeah, and there's a second team. It might even be is there a third too? Like, or is that honorable mention? I always forget with the All Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be tough to get All Pro. Now, if you're talking, can he go to the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
I think you're talking Hurts and Goff.
God, who else?
I don't know who else is in the NFC is really playing better than them.
I mean,
I don't think Dak.
It's really.
I mean, you look at
it's still incredibly early to me because like.
Sure, but like a lot of the NFC teams have already shifted to like second and third quarterbacks at this point.
Purdy could turn around his season pretty quickly, I think. I don't think he's
like if San Fran does well, he's going to get votes. That's how the popularity contest works. Dak, Dax could get some too, but like again, is he playing better? I don't think either of them are playing better than Jared right
Gino?
now. Yeah, Geno would be in there. I think he'd be top 3.
I guess that's all my point is. It's like we're halfway through the season. Anything that's happened now, the inverse could happen the rest of the way, and Lamar's star could extinguish in a second. I don't think it will.
No,
but I'm just saying
they are a juggernaut right now.
Not Dobbs. Listen. I know everyone thinks I'm like a huge Minnesota stan now.
Not what now. You were, and then you took a break to go completely opposite, and now you're way back on the stand again. So
I'm a flip flop.
This is old hat. This is old hat for you, man.
Okay.
You're back where you've been.
I was a scorned lover for all of the offseason, and now I'm back.
I was a little surprised how aggressively you thought you just disliked them. It was like you were a scorned lover. Like it was like I've been wronged, and now everything about you I hate, and now you're like, I missed you.
But I still maintain that my process in thinking Minnesota was going to be very bad this season was sound. I don't regret making that prediction. They weren't a good team last year. I think we've all woken up to that, right? They were a bad team last year. And on the surface, their talent got worse this year. They lost a ton of defensive pieces. They lost their running back that had been a huge part of their offensive identity. They lost a savvy veteran receiver. I didn't know how good Jordan Addison was going to be, but I wasn't ready to declare that he was an upgrade from Adam Thielen. I didn't think he would be right away, but he was. Kirk Cousins continues to ball out, and here's the thing that I think I overlooked completely: their offensive line has been really good.
They're better.
No, good.
Eh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing to say good yet.
And then the other thing is like I thought Vikings fans were drinking the Kool-Aid when they were like, Brian Flores is going to turn around our defense and we're going to be so much better. And usually in year one of a new coordinator, that doesn't turn out to be true. Maybe they eventually figure things out, but I'm like, okay, he's a good, he's a well-respected mind. I did not like it when they hired that guy because I know he's a very good coach, but he still has to deal with this defensive roster that doesn't look very good on paper outside of Danielle Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got something going there. It's not an elite defense. It might not even be, average, but it's a huge improvement from, like, how all offseason we were saying, listen, if the Lions could just jump from a, bottom 5 defense to the mid 20s or low 20s, that's exactly what they did in Minnesota.
Mm. Their schedule is not very daunting either.
Exactly. Yes.
They got 3 games they should lose, and then 5 games of the 5 remaining games. A couple of them are coin flips. A couple of them they should win. So
Ryan says they're not going to win more than 8 games this season.
Where are they at now?
They're already at 5. They're 5-4.
Ooh. I mean, they play the Bears. They play the Raiders.
Ryan is all aboard the Raiders bandwagon.
They play the Broncos. Now. They play the Bronco. What?
Ryan thinks once you get your Josh McDaniels enema, you suddenly turn out to be a good team.
Jeff Saturday got to win as an interim coach. Okay, so let's. I'm not there just yet. Yeah, it's I don't know. The team, the Broncos are all. I don't know. They're kind of hit and miss on when they decide to play.
Here's the thing, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, and I know Ryan is in the chat and upset that I'm still talking about the Vikings. But
right.
here's the thing that's pretty darn clear to me is they're going to make the playoffs because there's no one else. There's just no one else in the NFC that's a competitor. The Rams aren't going to do it. You think what's his name is going to turn them around?
I think with their schedule, with the Vikings schedule, there's a chance. Here's the thing. Josh Dobbs is okay. He's okay.
Right.
He's going to get exposed, though.
Sure.
Like, it's going to happen.
He still turned the ball over like 3 times on Sunday, right?
Right. Like, it took a last-second TD to beat a Falcons team.
Sure.
Like, it's not like they're just going to roll over people.
No.
Look, I'm not talk about drinking. Maybe they weren't drinking the Kool-Aid on the defense, but they're definitely drinking the Kool-Aid on the Josh Dobbs stuff now, man. Like, oh, did you get muted? Well, yeah, I'm not sold on Dobbs being their answer. Can he win a game? Yes. He can win them some games. He can help them beat the Bears. He can help them beat the Saints, Broncos. I just don't think he's a guy who's going to be able to elevate them over the Lions twice and the Bengals. Like, the last 4 games are going to be rough for them. There's going to be a lot of Kool-Aid, a lot of purple people eater Kool-Aid being passed out in Minnesota over the next month. And then it could be a tough finish. So, yeah. All right. So I got another minute here, folks. What do you want to talk about? The Vikings and the Saints games are going to be interesting. I mean, I'll pivot this conversation if you want. I could just who muted you? I'm curious to see. All right. Oh, you want to talk about special teams? All right. So Blakeman is the worst referee in the game. I mean, he is the worst. My goodness. Don't get me started on Cleat again. Odds of them going 14-3. I would say not as high as you would hope, because the chances are they could still lose a game that they don't want to, right? So it'd be tough to get to 14. I think 13 is a much more attain. Oh, okay, unmuted, I guess. All right.
The timer.
I wasn't looking at you. I wasn't looking.
Everyone's looking at me.
Oh, right. Someone's gonna mute you again for that.
It's the eye candy right here. Before we move on, there are some donations and things that we should address. By the way, Dan was the one who muted me, who also donated $50 just now.
Nice.
You might have to explain this one to me, Dan. Use the incentive word, write a word on a podcaster's face. Wants to write either, quote, spinning pizza wheel of death, which I don't understand and is also far too long that I don't think we're going to do it, or reloading on Erik.
Reloading? What's that? Oh, like a machine term?
I suppose, yes.
Like I need to be rebooted?
Yeah. Sure. Darth Twerk also on YouTube super chatted, says, why you guys take...
Sorry, who is that?
Darth Twerk. Donated $10 via super chat, says, why do you guys take a break only to continue to answer questions on your break? What else would we do on a break? Here's the thing. During the show, we take a break to answer Twitter's questions.
No.
Or during the show, we answer Twitter's questions. Yes. During the break, we answer your questions because you have gone the extra mile to come here and participate in our live show, which we very much appreciate. And because we like our podcasts to be relatively short, because generally people like to consume podcasts in about 30 minutes rather than an hour and 30 minutes, we cut the actual podcast to about 6 or 7 questions where, this usually runs 90 minutes to 2 hours and we can answer so many more questions during it. So that's your answer.
Do you
have a Sharpie?
Have we missed any big questions? Oh no. Have we missed any questions on YouTube or anything? I've been trying to stay with the chat, but it's moving pretty good.
It is moving pretty good. YouTube chat is still, I think, trying to figure themselves out. We don't get as much chats over on that side.
I feel like it's so new that I don't want to neglect.
I have something on my screen that combines both chats, so I should be able to see everything, but I mostly see Twitch. We did get another $100 donation though from Spielman54 Hall of Fame, nice. Who wants an egg on someone's head. If you're previously AS Carpenter. So if you're in the chat, AS Carpenter, let us know who you want to be. And yes, we are now $80 away from another spin on the Wheel of Pain. And 3,000, that's right, 3,080 from a mega spin, which also would earn us a Scary Movie Amazon watch party, which I'm very much not looking forward to because we're going to pick something that's relatively graphic. And I am a baby when it comes to that stuff.
Oh, you mean like blood and guts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't break TOS here. Or maybe we can. I don't know. I guess I don't know what the rules are in terms of nudity when you're watching a
movie,
an approved Amazon movie on Twitch. I don't know. Yeah, but no. I'm going to honestly. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to the least on our list of things that we can do because I don't even watch scary movies. I go thriller, not the music video, the genre.
Oh, well, that's what I thought you were going with.
So Get Out is basically as far as I go. There wasn't a lot of violence in Get Out. It's a thriller. It's a neat story. I'll do that. But Jordan Peele's other one, the one with scissors. Us. I did not see Us because there was too much scissor imagery, and I'm like, I don't want to see that.
Good one.
You liked it?
I like everything he does.
Yeah,
he's good.
I didn't see Nope. I do want to see Up. Did I say Up? I didn't mean Up. What did
Up? You should see that one. It's really sad in the first 5 minutes.
What's the alien one that he? Nope. I want to see Nope. I did not see Nope. Did you see Nope?
Which one is Nope? Is that the alien one?
Yeah. It's another Jordan Peele
horse
one.
ranch? Yeah.
Is that one good? Too. Okay. I think I would like that.
It's clever. One. Yeah, you would. It's better. It's not as freaky. It's more sci-fi.
Yeah.
Clever.
All right, Chad. Okay. We're caught up on donations. Let me get to alerts in terms of subscriptions, and then we'll get into more questions from you guys. Mary, thank you for the subscription over on YouTube. B-Nell, thank you for the follow here on Twitch. Krolik, thank you for the 30-month subscribed here on Twitch. Says, what's up, guys? Go Lions. What's up, Krolik? Thank you for all the questions, by the way. You're always the one that asks the most questions, and I feel like that always gets the ball rolling on more people asking questions. So I want to shout out Krolik for always asking good questions on Twitter. Brad in Nevada, 14 months subscribed to the channel, says keep up the good work, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Caitlin Rose, 3 months subscribed to the channel, says, how are you and Chris after the wasabi yesterday? I felt much better about an hour after stream ended, but that did mess up my stomach, and obviously it did not taste great. Yeah. Not looking forward to maybe doing that one again. Because, I don't know, like, if we raise, $25,000 like we did last year, that means we still have 19 more spins of that thing. That's, even saying those words out loud makes me scared. Tough Cam, thank you for gifting a sub to the Muscle Man. Appreciate you spreading the love there. Thomas J. Hutchins, 13 months subscribed to the channel. Says, love the POD crew and all the unhinged weirdos in chat. Cattle Snacks and Dan Pask here and now. Erwin in Brazil, too. That's the fun thing about this whole live streaming stuff.
I'm excited for you to get to the donation that just happened.
Okay, I will in a minute.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
Holy okay, I see it now. But yeah, someone asked me recently what my favorite part of my job is, and I think a lot of people expect me to be like, oh, it's cool. Like, I get to be at the press conference. I get to meet the players. And I never want to lose sight of that being the cool part. But also, I think my answer was live streaming because it's so community-based. I feel so in touch with fellow Lions fans. It's what SB Nation has always been about is community. It's why I got roped in to SB Nation in the first place. And I feel like these live streaming to me has been just one of the more intimate ways to connect to people and get to know people, even though I don't see them in person, you know? But let me interrupt that thought because I heard the donation alert and I'm like, well, looks like we're still 80 away. What's going on? I didn't see any. Oh, that's because Indigo just donated $1,000 to the Alzheimer's Association.
Nuts. He gets to be on the podcast, right? That's what that is?
Yes.
Awesome.
I don't know. Yeah, he did redeem that for the reward as well. I believe that's already the second or third $1,000 donation, which is insane.
Does he get to pick which show he gets to be on?
We have to work that out just in terms of schedules and stuff. But in general, we want to make whatever work. So if it's a midweek mailbag, great. If it's a Twitter space, great. Cool. If we probably won't do a first bite just because we're tight for schedule usually with that and adding another.
Right. I was more being selfish. I was wondering if he would join us. That's
sure, if he wants. To me, I don't know if we should put him and Ryan in the same room, virtual room. They occasionally have beef with each other. But Indigo, thank you so much, man.
Well,
really, really do appreciate that.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I never know what to say when someone does that. It's beyond generous, beyond what I can express of gratitude when someone drops such a generous donation. Is I'm fumbling over my words because I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, nuts. I don't.
Well, we'll get a spin of the wheel in for you this segment, and we are 80 away from another, so something tells me we'll probably be spinning it again before the end of the show.
Is he even in here? I keep seeing people say, "Oh, there he is." There he is.
No, stop it! Don't do the write-off thing. Dark Elf, thank you for the 7-month subscribe to us on Twitch. RGA 10-bit says 3 times in 4 weeks, baby. Wow, that's a lot of babies.
What am I supposed to, can I update my forehead?
Oh yeah, you have to write what is it? Uploading or reloading?
Reloading?
Reloading.
I'm supposed to write reloading?
Yeah, somewhere on your face.
Oh, all right. From Dan?
Yeah.
All right, Dan. I'd rather you mute me, but whatever. Go ahead, Dan. All right.
No one wants to mute you. Everyone wants you to talk the entire time. Uncle T Rav, thank you for the 8-bit, says, will you guys play the new Gridiron Heights video? Maybe.
You won't even be able to see it on this.
Can I
do the cheek?
Sure.
Like if I do it here, I feel like I'm like wasting it.
All right, I'll do your cheek then. That's fine.
Well, I don't know.
They can only request you write it on your face. If you think
Dan, okay, I mean, ask Dan, tell me if it's what's acceptable. Do you want it on the forehead where you won't be able to see it? I can't lose the hat. My hair is I purposely didn't wash my hair today because I knew the egg was coming and I'm gonna go in the shower after. So I'm like, no.
Jamich, thank you for the 7-month subscribe to channel, says, it's subscription time, isn't it? Sure is. Quirky Zerky, go ahead.
I'm gonna have Laura.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Laura right.
Eric will be right back while we finish off our subscriptions here, subscribers here. Quirky Zerky, 100 bits donated via Twitch, says, I posted a chart showing that Gibbs is the best running back in the league to Discord. How do you feel it's accurate? I think I know which one you're talking about. I'll bring it up in a minute. Remind me so that I don't forget. Damian Smith over on YouTube, the £2 donation via Super Chat, says, yes, it's pounds. Hope you had some bye week rest. A little bit, Damian. As much as it was a well-timed bye week for the players, wasn't great for the media because you have the Monday night game already cutting into the bye week. You have the trade deadline immediately after that. And so I feel like I was really working a normal work week up until about Thursday. So essentially got 2 or 3 days of rest. But I did actually get a good amount of sleep. I did get a lot of rest, which was much needed after that Monday night game. And thankfully, no primetime games until at least Dallas, unless the lines get flexed. So those night games really kind of do a number on me. So anyways. Denver. What about Denver?
Denver is potential Saturday.
Yeah, it's not necessarily primetime, though.
Yeah, but it could be because there's only 3 of those Saturday games.
There you go. Well done.
She has better writing than me.
She sure does.
I didn't write it. Come on.
Woodchuck Hunter, by the way, donated $80 to get us to an even $8,000 donated to the Alzheimer's Association. 1 week into this thing, y'all, we are already at $8K, which,
nuts.
Again, if we continue on this trajectory at this rate, and we haven't even dipped our toe into the big marathon stream, we are going to absolutely crush last year's numbers, and we could get a shaved head, which, oh boy, I don't even know what to say if that happens. Woodchuck Hunter is baking a Chris mute, so that is, I believe we're up to 3 mutes just in the bank waiting to mute Chris. I forgot to write down who had them all, so we're gonna work the honor system here. But
by the way, Dan, I wrote it on this cheek so that when I'm constantly looking at the chat, you can see it better, buddy. I did that for you. They're all for Chris, all the mutes.
We have 3 banked, and yes, they're all for Chris.
You know, everybody has their own little thing that people want to do to them.
Last year's total for the stream itself, I actually have the exact number here. I feel like my camera isn't always. Whoa! Shit. Let me just throw it across the room like it's
it was
nothing.
0.
It's not glass, to be clear. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Put your hand behind it so you can see it.
There
you go.
Smart. There we go. We raised $25,007 for the Alzheimer's Association. That does not include the 3,000 or 4,000 we raised for the crisis text line via our auctions, and so those numbers always get added at the end. So in total, we raised about 28K, 29K. What did I say?
What's that? What happened?
Everyone is saying swear jar. What did I say?
Oh, when you dropped it, maybe.
What did I say? Oh,
you might have said the S word.
Oh, no. Well,
hey, no, I'll save it.
There you go. We're at 11. By the way, in case you don't know what this swear jar is, I will donate $10 for every time I swear during this month. Not off to a great start.
Yesterday, I was going to type in the chat and like highlight it, or I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to make you say, you have to read all the comments.
Yeah.
I say my last name, but take out every even letter.
Oh, you would have gotten me. That was real subtle.
I didn't think you'd see it though, so I was like, forget it.
Anyways, I think we're caught up to everything. So if we want to take a moment away from the shenanigans, or we can spin the wheel, I suppose we should spin the wheel once now, once at the end. But if you want, let's take a moment to take our breath, maybe rejoin some Lions talk here and answer some questions, which I'm more than happy to do. Jeremy asks Eric what he thinks about Onzurike's future with the club is.
Doesn't look great right now. He's healthy scratch multiple weeks in a row. I know he's still acclimating and they're still trying to test that back out, but I don't know. He seems like a guy that may ride off into the sunset if he can't get that back right where he can contribute. He's not the player he was, not the player they drafted. Unfortunately, the back injuries tend to do that. We're seeing a similar thing with Vaitai. I feel like it's unfortunate.
Well, let me sprinkle a little optimism here, Mr. Wet Blanket, because we talked to John Scott, as I mentioned, and he was asked about Levi. Let me read you his response on Levi. I think sometimes we forget Levi basically missed a year and a half of football. That's a huge learning curve when you're not able to get out on the field. Levi is another guy. He has some great talent. We see progression every day. It'll come for Levi. He has to continue to work. He has to continue to show it in practice, which he's doing. And better yet, when you get that opportunity, you have to show that in the games as well. Ultimately, as you guys know, that's the ultimate measuring stick. People want to see wins and losses and how you perform on that stage. Those are the things he's working at. He works at it as well. Again, I'm pleased with where he's at. It'll come for him.
Sounds very similar to what they say about Broderick Martin. He's just got to get a little bit better. He's just got to learn a little. Like it's
sure.
It's all about the back. Like it really is. It's in my opinion. Like it's all about him being able to trust it and be able to do the things that he did, and then getting his body to readjust to it. And so
yeah,
I hope he's able to turn it around. I just am not optimistic about it.
I don't know. It's hard to say for me, it's all his back. It's all physical, or maybe it's the mental hurdle of getting over that. We don't know. If you ask Onzurike himself, he says, he was the one who wrote like a really long piece on it, right? Or am I thinking of someone else?
No, he did.
It was him.
It was the first one.
Yeah,
the first one.
And he was talking about how he had gotten over the mental hurdle, but that took the longest with him. Like the physical stuff was work, and he's used to putting in work, and he's used to putting in time in the gym and things like that. It was going out there and not thinking about it every time you had a collision that was the hardest. And he said he got over that. And so maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Maybe this is all coach speak, and maybe it isn't. But I'm not fully ready to give up on the guy. I'm kind of in the same boat with you, where it's like whatever comes is a bonus, but I'm not ready to say this guy's career is over. I'm just not.
I'm with you. I'm not ready to say it's over. I'm just leaning more towards it being over than not.
Sure.
I mean, if I have to lean one way.
Yeah.
I was trying not to be too in the middle. I'm trying to be a little bit more definitive.
We both have that problem.
No, but like that's how we have to think like that.
True.
Like, as writers. We can't definitively say this is what it's going to be because it might not, right? Like we have to say this is what it probably will be, right?
Yeah.
Or this is will be, because if you start speaking in absolutes and speaking as like this is it, you're going to get yourself in trouble, and you're going to put false hope, or you're going to put like incorrect information out there, and like it's not ethically I'm a real journalism
That's right.
type of thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they call it hedging, they call it whatever. But I'm with you. I think we've normalized, embraced debate, and everything has to be a hot take, and everything has to be this is what's going to happen, or this is what's going to happen. And listen, you're allowed to have opinions. Go ahead.
Keep going.
You're allowed to have opinions. You can have strong opinions like I did against Minnesota. I don't do that very often because the only reason I feel like I went hard on Minnesota, and I hate to make this back about Minnesota again, but it's just the first example that pops into mind, is I felt like everyone was crowning Minnesota in a way that I did not see at all. Don't mute me. But yeah, I think it's like you said, it's our job to look at both sides of arguments that deserve a both sidesing too. There's certainly some stories, some takes, some opinions that don't deserve a let's hear them out. But in general, like, this is a complicated game with complicated decisions, and as much as I might not like drafting a running back in the first round, I can stand back and be like, okay, well, this is why they did it. This is why it might make sense. This is why it might work. Stats say it probably won't work, but this is why it might work. And that's not me hedging. That's not me rationalizing, or it is me rationalizing, but it's not me coping. It's just me understanding the situation.
Sorry. I had to fix a toy for my kid.
That's okay.
She was upset. The little one was upset too. So
I get it.
Had to stop for dad duty stuff.
What else we got here? I don't love Minnesota.
There was a lot of stuff. Like, okay. I saw a couple of questions about Martavius Bryant.
Sure.
The fact that the Lions were interested in him only means they were interested in maybe bringing him in like for a workout.
Right.
Doesn't mean they were like
prepared.
Let's sign him.
Here's the contract. Like, yeah, no.
Because like
there was no DocuSign in his email.
Right. And he's only on a practice squad. So it's more like a, hey, you used to be really good and you're 6'5" and can run like the wind. So it's interesting. And I'm sure they were interested in him because, as Brad Holmes said before they traded for DPJ, like, we needed another guy. We wanted a 6 receiver. And so it could have been that's when they were interested in him. So
to be clear, though, the timeline, he got reinstated on Saturday.
Okay. Well, maybe there's still, it could be a depth thing. I don't think it's. Well, this guy hasn't played for a couple years, and when he did play last, he wasn't even that good. So
yeah, and to me, here's the thing. Brad Holmes has said this time and time again. If there's an opportunity to improve our roster, we're gonna look at it. We're gonna turn over every rock, right? And you might look at their running back or their wide receiver room and be like, they have all these guys now. They just traded for a guy. Why would they do this? Well, why not? Why not bring the guy in and just see what he looks like?
Sure.
And like you said, sign up to the practice squad. Do you need Joe? Can you name a wide receiver on the practice squad right now? Dylan Drummond? Anyone else?
Dylan Drummond, Maurice Alexander, and third guy here, Darius Fountain.
Yeah, right. Like, no offense to Darius Fountain, but Martavius Bryant would probably be an upgrade to your practice squad. And since he's on a practice squad, he signed to the Dallas practice squad. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
If they wanted him so bad, they could still get him. They could poach him. And not, I doubt Martavius Bryant is going to be like, oh, you want to poach me? See ya, Dallas. Before I even see a practice. That probably won't happen, but I'm just saying that the fact, I quote tweeted the story from Jordan Schultz, and the first 3 responses are like, guess they're sick of J-Mo already. And I'm like, guys, relax. This has nothing to do with J-Mo. It's a once star in this league or budding star in this league suddenly becoming available in the league for the first time in 3 years. Let's bring him in and see what he looks like. That's all that is. That's all it is. And if they want him so bad, they could still grab him. And then we'll have a conversation. Wheel? Sure. And also, I see that there has been a cowboy hat redemption. Separate of donations. Brad Holmes, did you want the full cowboy hat or just a mini cowboy hat? You get to choose. And while you choose, we'll bring out the spin wheel. I can't remember what's on here. Why hasn't... Oh, there it is. Okay. Pickle juice. I can't do the saltines one. I don't have saltines, so I got to take that one out. What else is on there? Whipped cream, Bean Boozled. Okay, that's fine.
Jeremy, what size shirt do you wear?
Medium. I'm afraid of that question. Okay, you want the... okay. Opposite the size of Brad Holmes' bulge, which is large, so mini. Great. It's a long way to go. There you go. Mini hat for you. No, we are not doubling up wasabi. I need to figure out a new one because I feel like these are already running a little thin. Let's see. Is there another one I can add to it? I could do dog treat. You guys want dog treat on there? No, I'm not doing the cinnamon challenge. Absolutely not.
Isn't that where people like die and stuff?
Maybe. I'll just, I'll put wasabi right back on there.
Oh, God.
If it's wasabi again, I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah, I eat a dog treat. That would have been what that is. I don't... What do you mean? All right, we'll just roll with this. All right. Because
is the pickle juice like a shot of pickle juice? Or what
I have these little like one shot containers. They're from last year. I don't know if pickle juice goes bad, but they're. I don't think they're.
No.
Maybe they're expired too. So there you go, a little bit extra.
Oh God!
All right, here we go. We're spinning it.
No.
In 3, 2, 1. What is that? Oh, Bean Boozled. Okay. We haven't opened up the Bean Boozled yet. Let me go get my package of Bean Boozled.
Oh man. Tell him to take pickle juice off, because if he's got last year's pickle juice, he's gonna go to the hospital.
Stop it. I'll be fine.
Last year, a year old pickle juice, dude.
It's fine.
No, it's not.
I'll check the expiration date before I have to do it.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. It was about 8 months ago.
No, I don't think so. All right. In case you don't know what Bean Boozled are, they're basically jelly beans, but there's
Isn't it hit or miss?
yes. So they have
Okay,
flavors that look identical to each other. One is a normal jelly bean flavor. One is a disgusting jelly bean flavor. So I'll go over the potential flavors.
So it's Harry Potter.
Essentially, if you've had the Harry Potter jelly beans. So there's one that is cappuccino, but the one that looks like it is liver and onions. Buttered popcorn, rotten egg. Peach, barf. Juicy pear, booger. Tutti Frutti, Stinky Socks, and I think that's a new one this year. Pomegranate, Old Bandage. I had Old Bandage last year, and it was the worst one I've ever had.
And
I don't understand how it actually tasted like it, but it absolutely did.
because it's mental.
Yeah,
they
I
guess. Could have told you it was old shoe, and he would have been like, "Oh my god, it tastes just like an old shoe."
It's the grossest thing one of the grossest things I've ever eaten. Toasted marshmallow, stink bug. Birthday cake, dirty dishwater. I don't think I had that one last year. Berry blue, and toothpaste. Toothpaste by far the most tolerable bad flavor. And then maybe the second worst one that they have, strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish.
Okay, so question.
Yeah.
Is there one of each in the bag, or is it just a hodgepodge mix up? You don't know what you get.
I think it's just a hodgepodge. I think
Okay.
I got on an incredible streak last year. Ryan was the exact opposite. It seemed like every single bean that he ate was the bad flavor. So what I'll do is I'll eat 3. I'll agree to eat 3. If they're all good ones, sorry guys, you're SOL. But they could all 3.
You almost swore there. Does that count as a swear jar?
Absolutely not. All right. I'm not going to look. Oh, man. Just opening the package is a waft of a bunch of horrible odors in one. All right. There's 1. There's 2.
3 years for shelf life of pickle juice? You got to be kidding me.
J-Dubs knew what he was talking about. All right.
No, he's telling you that so that you go to the hospital.
Oh,
he's
boy.
an insurance salesman.
No. All right. First one up is a little white speckled one. It could be dirty dishwater or birthday cake.
All right. Well, both sound bad.
Birthday cake?
Not birthday cake.
I don't like cake, but cake flavored stuff is fine. All right, here we go.
Right. Birthday cake.
Nope.
I already tell.
That is weird.
I don't have it. I'll have to order some, I guess.
They're
Did
cheap.
you get those off Amazon?
Mm-hmm. That's a really weird. It's not the worst. Certainly isn't a pleasant taste, and I don't know if I don't even know what dirty dishwater. Not pleasant. Let's just leave it at that. A little musky. You know what? I was gonna save this one to last for dramatic effect, but if this is the bad one, I want to get it over with. The orangish one, which is strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish.
Oh gosh.
This is the high stakes jelly bean right here.
If it's the bad one,
yeah.
Aren't you going to be like out of sorts and not even want to do the third one? Or is the third one going to potentially offset the bad fish taste in your mouth?
No, it's not going to do that. Well, we'll see. Either way, this is what we're going with. Strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish. Please let me be lucky here.
Oh, you got lucky.
No, I did not.
Nope.
No, I did not.
Well, this is karma for making fun of Ryan. Oh. Now, I can watch the horror movies all day, but I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And the worst thing about jelly beans, the thing
It's
that
stuck
makes
in your teeth.
it gets stuck in your teeth. It's the worst candy out there. I don't know why people like jelly beans.
Question: water,
Oh,
or is there a different?
I wish there was something
I
else in
don't.
there. I would drink pickle
Is
juice
there?
right now to get this taste out of my mouth.
Is there like a like with the wasabi? You should be drinking milk, not
Yeah,
water.
I don't know
And,
what's the antidote to dead fish.
and I wouldn't think it's water. You're not gonna revive it. Uh,
Oh
I
God, that
would
is
think it would be something spicy. Maybe
maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll just.
they have to have something that totally like outwhack it.
I need some sriracha. Just. All right.
Have some wasabi.
The last
I
one
bet that makes it out.
is either buttered popcorn or rotten egg.
Well, that's not gonna fix it.
Buttered popcorn would be great right now. I'd take
It
it.
would not. It would.
Rotten egg
definitely
is just going to be the exact same flavor in my mouth. Like rotten egg and dead fish. Is there any difference between those two flavors? Please don't I can't go over 3.
We're gonna find out, I guess.
I can't unless I got like an oops all berries type of situation.
Oops, all bad.
All right, here we go.
Nope, this doesn't taste good.
Oh, no, there it is. Okay. No, it doesn't taste good. I'm like, I don't taste anything. And then it's like, nope, there's the rotten egg. Why did I agree to do 3? I could have just done 1 and no one would have batted an eye.
I thought it was 3. Oh.
I hate jelly
Hey, look at
beans.
it this way. Look at it this way. You've now gotten 3 bad ones.
Yeah,
out of the
my
way.
odds are tremendous now. This sucks. I will never do 3 again.
Why? Wait, I thought it was 3 every time.
Nope.
I thought right.
I need to get something into my mouth that is not this right now. I'm sorry, like this is disgusting. It's still in my frickin' teeth. Carry the show. Do something. I hate this.
Oh, that was fun. Well. Yeah, that was an uncomfortable set of phrasing he said at the end there. Yeah, I'm gonna try and go back and look at some questions. Boy, you guys are really chatty. I'm having a hard time finding some of these. Oh, I can't even go back far enough. There we go. Talk about Malcolm's future with the club. So, I think Malcolm's potential is to be. He has potential to be a starter on certain teams. On this roster, I don't know if he'll ever. At least the next 2 years, he's going to be in that kind of like LB4 role. But the Lions have been really lucky with injuries and avoiding them at linebacker, and so like he's not been needed to be called upon. But Malcolm isn't going to be the type of linebacker for everybody. But he does fit the mold of the new style of linebacker that a lot of defenses are going towards. So if he does decide to leave in free agency because he thinks there's greener pastures in a couple of years, I think he'd have suitors. At the same time, I don't know like if he'd be like one of the top like free agents linebackers out there or anything like that, just because there are limitations to his game. I think he's going to play in the league for a decade though. You know what I mean? Like he's the type of guy that is going to always work, and he's going to be a guy who finds ways to get on the field and finds ways to contribute. And that doesn't go away. That's going to be NFL players forever, right? Like that's just
So super
part of that's how you stay in the league and you make a good living that you can live that, make a future for yourself as an NFL player is just to stick around. And I think he's got that. He's got all those positive attributes. So
he just has to stay healthy.
Know,
because a player that plays with that kind of tenacity can get himself into trouble. So he has to be smart about it. But
and look, there are limitations. He's under 6 foot. He doesn't have great length. And for a lot of these, the style of defense that's out there now is you can be light and you can be small if you're long. But if you're not long, then that's going to limit you even further. And he's just kind of in a weird spot body type wise. And could there be a team that comes up with another way to use these, like a tweener guy? Absolutely. NFL defenses are changing and evolving all the time. And I think he's going to be a valuable contributor. I just don't know how long he's going to be, comfortable, trying to, sit around it as a backup or if you want to jump for more at some point. He's got a couple years to figure it out and to prove himself still. I don't think the door's shut on him by any stretch. And it's just opportunity hasn't been there right just yet this year anyway.
$2 super chat again, or £2 super chat from Damian Smith. Going back to our conversation on Damian, what's his name? Sorry. The receiver.
Martavius
Bryant. I don't know why I said Damian. Martavius Bryant. Says, do practice squatters have a real shot though? I think in his case, it's just a matter of like getting in the door first, learning the playbook, and then let's see where you go. And so, do I think Martavius Bryant is starting for the Cowboys next week? No, but I assume this is about Martavius Bryant. It was 12 minutes ago, but
I mean, look, the Lions have 2 players on their roster now that started the season on the practice squad.
Sure.
In Nowoski and Dan Skipper.
Oh,
right.
And your guy.
And
Chase Lucas.
Oh, Chase. Yeah. Well, I Chase never should have been there to begin with. But, so yeah, like, and they had Zigbo was on the practice squad, got bumped up, and then he's now back.
James Houston last year.
Daniels was on the practice squad, then he got bumped up, and now he's not back yet. I'm kind of surprised he isn't back.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities, depending on injuries and if you play well enough. Like Nowoski is up because he played well enough, right? Like he's not up because they were like, oh, we need a 7th off the ball linebacker.
Right.
He's up because they were like, oh crap, we don't want to lose him.
Right.
And so we need to get him up.
True. This is a team that values every single one of their 90 spots on the roster during the offseason and every one of their 70 spots between the 53 and the practice squad. They don't mess around with those. And I think one of the starkest differences between Bob Quinn and Brad Holmes is there's not a lot of tinkering. If you remember, Bob Quinn would just shuffle every single week, it seemed like, the bottom of that practice squad. And I don't know why he did it. We never really got an opportunity to ask him. I don't know if it was you wanted to make sure you're keeping things fresh. You want to make sure you want to get a look at everybody. But Brad Holmes, they don't mess around. If you're on the practice squad, you're going to get an opportunity to prove yourself. This team is going to try to coach you up before they give up on you. And the only tinkering they seem to ever do is injury related.
Yeah, it seemed like Bob Quinn was constantly looking for a diamond in the rough, and he didn't mind using those bottom of the roster spots, or bottom of the practice squad spots, even bottom of the roster during training camp, to try and unearth that.
Yeah.
This regime they look at the practice squad as part of the team, and they're like, you have a purpose. You are going to help us here.
Yep.
Whereas they were more expendable under the previous regime, and they're not in this one. There was another donation. 100%. Did you see that?
I did. I didn't see who it was yet, but I heard it.
Blouses.
Blouses.
I believe it said blouses. Yep.
Thank you for the $20.
Right?
You're right. You're right.
Nice. Is it? I picture.
Blouses.
I
Is that what you're gonna say?
I picture Dave Chappelle dressed up as Prince doing a reverse dunk.
If I had to guess, and this is a complete guess, it's a friend of mine because our roller hockey team in high school was called the Blouses. Just for that reason.
Blouses?
Just so that when we win, we can say game Blouses. We didn't win very often.
Well,
in fact, you know what? Let me show you something. I have proof that this is true.
he doesn't need to prove it. We can just believe him. It's okay.
I'm not sure I've ever shown this on stream, and if I have, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
but
prove it.
Our roller hockey jerseys have the word blouses. This is from high school. And it has a picture of Skeeter, because why wouldn't you have a picture of Skeeter on your roller hockey jersey?
Yeah, it all makes perfect sense.
And this was on the back of my... Because
nice.
I identified as the one Jewish person in Northville in high school, so I have Hebrew lettering on the back of my jersey.
The only one in the entire city?
Essentially, at the time. Anyways. Do we want to get back into it?
Yeah.
Do you have more questions? Yeah. If you guys have more questions, you can throw them in the chat. Maybe they'll make the show. Maybe we'll address them afterwards. Let me just make sure I have enough to go on that we haven't tackled yet.
Excuse me.
Great show and tell. Thank you. Go Mustangs. That's right.
Should I go get my hockey jersey from high school?
Sure. All right. Let's not go there. Come back. Should we have a yawn jar? Did I yawn?
I did.
Oh,
I yawned.
Are we boring you?
No, I wake up at 6 every morning for the children. I know you do too, but you don't have to have three little monsters making you cook. Yeah,
just that little monster. Just that little monster.
Mm-hmm. I saw you throw the Alzheimer's award at him earlier.
That's not what happened.
I can't do that with my children. I can't just throw stuff.
Whoa. These accusations. We're raising money for the Humane Society this year.
Did you not throw? That's the direction it went in.
You can't prove that.
By the way, I saw a redemption for a Zazu cameo. By the way, I did check the. I thought I saw one of the 1,000 points.
Oh, you're right.
By the way. I just remembered that now that you showed
the Gomness. Do you want it now? Do you want it in the next break? We can do it now. Thank you for seeing that, Erik. We can do it now. He's pretty tired though. That's okay. He'll be.
Well, he's gonna be more tired than. Oh, is it Bean Boozled? Is that what you're getting?
I mean, I'd love to just get rid of them. Banana chip for me. Did you want one? You can come here if you want it. Okay. Oh, shot out of a cannon. Why would making my bed every day change my life? Explain. Come here. Oh. No. Hey. You don't get them yourself. That's not how this works. Leave it. No. Good boy. I'm with Indigo. Getting rid of your bed's a waste of time. I'm just going to get back in it and mess it up again. I know, like, there's... It's like... It's your first task of the day. You build momentum in terms of being effective, and I don't know. I'm not sure I buy into it. That can't be true, Dragon. And if that is true, that's not a causation. That is a correlation. People who make their bed every day live longer. That I doubt that to be true, and if that is true, I think that has more to do with those kind of people having like good discipline, so they probably eat better and exercise more and things like that. And I don't do those things either. Did you have something to say about that? Why don't you make your bed?
Kids.
Jim Morrison never made his bed. He died at 27. Making your bed is the first step towards building self-discipline, or some people already have self-discipline, so they make their bed. Some people don't, and they don't make their bed. Maybe there's no such thing as free will. Maybe I can't even control it. I just can't make my bed. That's just not who I am. It was destined from the minute I was born that I wouldn't make my bed. Let's get into philosophical debate, Eric. All right. No interest. Not taking the bait.
Well,
You don't want to go on record if your kids are watching to not make your bed. That's what's happening.
I don't make my kids make their beds.
Oh.
I probably should.
Oh.
I prioritize
Well.
other things other than beds. I create discipline in other areas.
Guy Utah, by the way, thank you for the 24 months subscribed to the channel. Says it's a fool's errand to make your bed. Thank you for the 2 months, Guy Utah. And Loveline69, 10 months subscribed to the channel. Says keep up the good work, boys. Thank you, Loveline. Appreciate it. Okay.
Now I make my side of the bed.
Oh, I see where this conversation's going.
But I don't make anybody else do anything with their bed. But I do that with mine because I like to get into a bed that is a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's more OCD than it is self-discipline. Mine is just, this is what I like. I put my glasses in the same spot. I have a very much have a routine.
Yeah, you are a habit of routine for sure.
Yep.
I'm also like, I get very hot when I sleep, so I'm not even under covers when I sleep. I have a blanket over me, and that's it.
Got a visual. Didn't want that.
Like here's the thing. I bought this down comforter right here. It has stayed there for a full year because I don't use it because it's too hot. And instead of moving it or folding it and putting away, it just sits right there.
My kids all had trouble sleeping when they were younger, like for like a long time. And it was like weird. Like, I don't know if it's just, it was a thing on the whole street. Like kids just didn't sleep for whatever reason. And so I learned very early with them that I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep. Like just go to bed. Like
yes.
I don't care how you sleep, just sleep.
Just be
so
unconscious.
I used to do so much stuff. Like I used to be like, this is the way to do it. I know the book and I know this and I like now everyone gets what helps them be comfortable.
Yeah.
Right. And so like we literally have 5 different sleep patterns of like what makes them each comfortable. Like it's crazy. Like I have one kid who likes like a down comforter. I have another one who just likes like the blanket you put on yourself when you're sitting on the couch.
Right.
I have another one who wants 2 of those. But then sometimes needs the weighted blanket. So like I have blankets of all over the place. I have a I have a bed sheet and a comforter, and then sometimes I have an extra one in case I'm cold. That's it.
I'm a 3 pillow guy, by the way. Head,
Oh, I have one, but it's
hold,
custom.
knees. Head, hold, knees.
Okay, I have a custom pillow.
Yeah.
That is like thin here, and then it stays level across the top, but the bottom arcs. So it kind of looks like this,
It's like a
right?
bridge.
And so it fits right behind your head, and it comes down. So when you do lean on your side, it comes like over your shoulder where you can like you can almost it's dude
Weird.
awesome. Because I had problems for like I don't know, laying weird and snoring and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I tried the square, the little cube stupid thing.
Yeah, that doesn't count. That's
Harper has it. Harper sleeps on that now, like she needs it.
I didn't mean to call
which is
Harper dumb.
weirdest thing. I'll tell her. And then, by the way, Harper wants you to come do the podcast at my house
so she can smash an egg on me.
Harper wants to smash an egg on your
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Yes.
I put that together real quick.
Oh, I am the oldest child. Yes, for sure. So, yeah, I bought one of these that like have like the little ergonomic like spot for your head, even have like a little hole in it so you can put your head in and it doesn't close your ear. And that one's terrible. Like I've tried several different ways to like but now, Jeremy, dude, I go to bed and I put my head down and I am out. And then I wake up, it's like right before 10 minutes to 6 and I'm like and I don't have neck pain and I don't have like I don't linger, and I sleep like a rock. So I finally found like the right kind of pillow for me, but it's just like
let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
It's not my pillow, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's no.
But whoever it is, they're
I bought
now
the
a
pillow
sponsor.
off Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah, it's I like it.
Dark Elf ahead of me. Nick the Grease asked 2 very important questions to you specifically, each with 100 bits. Says, in all caps, tell me how to get my 13-month-old to sleep through the night, Eric. I need tips.
Oh, God.
And also says, my toddler is
so
making me
bad.
lose so much sleep that I'm turning into CRISPR fat.
It's look, my first kid, it took way longer than it should have. The second kid was a little bit better. Third kid, boom, she was asleep for like early, slept through the night. It was great. And that lasted like 3 months. And then she went back to being like a terrible no sleeper. And that might be the worst because you're like, oh, it's over. You know what I mean? Like when you're going through the non-sleep, it's you get used to it. You get used to not but yeah, it's no fun. I wish there was a solution that I could just say, do this, Nick, and this is what's going to help. But I don't have it because I have tried a million different things because it was so rough with my first one. You just gotta just try something different. You know what I mean? Like just keep trying new things and it'll work eventually. Eventually, Nick, man, I'm sorry that I've been there. It sucks.
Okay, last question before we have to get into it because we're an hour 30 into this and we haven't even started the second segment.
Right.
Jill asked, where can we find that awesome hoodie Erik is wearing?
Oh, this is just this is nothing fancy. It's a New Balance. It's a New Balance. I don't even I think it's the first New Balance item I've owned. It's a Combine Authentic though, which is what had caught my eye because I had one of these Combine Authentic shirts before when it was made by a different brand. It was an Under Armour actually, Combine Authentic Under Armour. The Under Armour sponsored them, and I don't know if this is just New Balance was the sponsor. I don't even think they were. I don't know, but I think I got this. I think it's on Amazon. I think you can find it on Amazon if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a little shinier than what I'm used to, but I dig it. I dig it.
There you go. All right. Let's get back into it because
It is silver.
I mean,
It's silver, not gray.
we've spent an hour and 10 minutes on break, which means it's time to get back into it. Stick around after the next segment because we'll answer more questions and there is one more spin of the Wheel of Pain coming as well. So stick around for that. Here we go. And we are back here on the midweek mailbag. Myself, Jeremy Reisman, and Erik Schlitt answering your questions here live on twitch.tv/Pride of Detroit or youtube.com/@Pride of Detroit as well. Let's jump right back into it. We answered a lot of questions about the defensive line, so we're going to pick up right where we left off here from Optimus Grime on Twitter at Kevin McAllister. Asks, your thoughts on increasing Barnes' role as the Sam/edge rusher in passing situations and discontinuing Jack Campbell's usage as the Sam until Houston comes back. Feels like Barnes and Houston have similar body types, and at least Barnes rushed off the edge in college. What do you think of that plan?
I think if you would have asked me a week or two ago, I would have said no. And I think we might have even talked about this a week or maybe even 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I think I did say no, right? Because Barnes has been so good against the run that I think moving him off the off-ball spot was a step in the wrong direction. But last game, we saw a heavy dose of Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
And we might be looking at a changing of the guard there. And if we are, then I'm all for trying to get Barnes on the field in a different way, right?
Yeah.
And so if that's the Sam, great, because he was a good pass rusher at Purdue, and he hasn't done it in a few years, so there's going to be some rust that goes into that. But at the same time, their concept of getting the best players on the field, I think there's some merit here to say that Barnes could be one of their best options in that role. So I'd be open to it.
It's interesting because I'm not sure the Lions view him that way. But he did it earlier this year. And I asked him about it, and when I asked him about it, I've never seen that man light up like he did. I remember him saying, like, he was so excited, he called his girlfriend or his wife. He's like, I'm going to get to pass rush, baby. I'm going to get to pass. Like, he was so excited to go back and do that. And so if they approach him, he's going to be all in. My question, though, is can he do it? Because it's one thing to do it at Purdue. It's another thing to do it 4 years later or whatever at the NFL level. And I don't know if that gets them any closer where they need to be in terms of their pass rush. I'd rather see them continue to maybe even give Julian has 2 sacks in his last 3 games.
Right.
Maybe give Charles Harris some of those opportunities. Give him another chance to improve. It's tough for me because I don't know if Jack Campbell or Derek Barnes are truly cut out to be the pass rushing types in the NFL. I just don't know if they have those pass rushing chops. They have the size, they have the speed. I get all that, but there's so much more to the position. There's so much more savviness and technique that both those guys really need to up their games at to become an efficient. And I don't know if they have that in them. And so
I think you hit the nail on the head, though. No. I was going to say, I think you hit the nail on the head with the Julian thing. I think Julian is the biggest obstacle because they've been leaning on Julian a little bit more each of the last few games since he's returned from injury. So that's probably the biggest obstacle. And I think the increased usage of Julian is what prompted them to put Jack at Mike a little bit more. And that's why we've gotten into this situation.
Putting Jack at Mike was confusing. Because
putting Jack Campbell at Mike.
Yes,
there you go.
Because Jack is also sometimes referred to as the Sam. But either way, it'll be interesting. And we're coming out of the bye here. We just mentioned at the top of the show, this is maybe an opportunity where they're going to come out and show some different looks now that they've had a week to self-scout. And considering they scaled back Jack Campbell a bunch last week against the Raiders, we're going to find out whether that was a permanent thing or whether that was a matchup-specific thing. We still don't really know any of that. So I don't think Jack Campbell at the edge is going to completely go away based on the way some of the coaches are still talking about. But I do think maybe they're going to scale it back a little bit. Next question here from Oaxaca Lions fan asks, how much have we seen Gibbs and Montgomery in 2-back sets so far? And do you think that might increase now that Gibbs has broken out?
We've only seen it a handful of times.
Yeah.
One, I think it was a trust issue with Gibbs. They were still trying to learn how much they could lean on him. And then Montgomery gets hurt. So they've only been on, and then even Gibbs was hurt a couple of the,
right.
one of those games when Montgomery wasn't. So they've only been on, playing together, I think like 4 games, maybe, right?
That sounds right.
So we've only seen that a handful of times. At the same time, they are both really good, right? And Montgomery is one of the most efficient backs in the league. Gibbs is one of the most explosive backs in the league. And so they trust each of them in what they can do. I mean, both of them have a game over 150 yards rushing, right? That Montgomery had that one early in the season, right? Or at least close to it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't 150, it was close to it. Maybe 140, I think, or something. But my point is, they have 2 backs that can both go hit the 100 mark.
Yeah.
And so I think they're going to find ways to try and get them as many touches as they can. So 2-back sets, we've been calling for it, asking for it for a long time. The trust factor with Gibbs now, I think, lends itself to that, because now you can't look. They're both such good pass catchers. You can put 2 of those guys out on the field, get the defense to go into a base counter, and then spread them out wide, and then go 5 wide, empty. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you go empty with those, then what are you going to do? Then you're in trouble. Then the defense is in trouble, and you got mismatches wherever you want them. So I'm for it. I think Ben Johnson's creative enough to make it happen. So let's hope to see it more.
Yeah, and I think it's not only just a trust issue, which I think is very much part of it, right? We hear from the coaching staff all the time how they need to be able to trust their players, and reliability is so important. And now that they have that in Jahmyr Gibbs, they're going to entrust him to do more things. But it's also the fact that now there's on tape. Jahmyr Gibbs can run between the tackles. David Montgomery can run between the tackles. Jahmyr Gibbs can catch passes out wide. David Montgomery can catch passes out wide. All of that is now on tape in this offense, and the Lions can play around with that so much now. Now they can put both those guys out there. Now it's not a tell if David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are both on the field. It's not a tell that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the one running the route. It could be either. And I think having that on tape, having that mystery, I mean, how often do we say that what Ben Johnson does so well is run the same play from different formations, or run the opposite of that? The different plays from the same formation. Exactly.
Yes.
Now you can do that with 2 running back sets. And
yeah,
I think you're right. I think you have an offensive coordinator that is smart enough to know that you need to get your best guys out there, and it's smart enough to know ways to disguise how they're going to play those players and find out creative ways to get them open.
I think, again, you made an excellent point about the fact that you can't it's not just roles. Both guys can do it all.
Yep.
At this point. And when you have both guys that can do it all, that's a nightmare for run defenses. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to the back half here.
Let's hope that we finally get what we've been asking for years. And Dan Campbell said this week, Gibbs is going to get his touches. So anyone who's concerned that Montgomery's back and now that means, 5 to 10 touches for Jahmyr Gibbs, I think you'll see over 10 consistently still from both guys. All right. Next question here. This is the part we're calling the Jameson Williams section, because we continue to get a lot of questions about Jameson Williams, and understandably so. So let's just smush 2 of them together here. From Van House asks, I feel like they need to get JMO involved early. I think his nerves get the best of him, then has a drop and it's all over. How about a jet sweep or a quick slant early to build his confidence? And then Lions Tape at the Sheep Trades asks, Why aren't they incorporating JMO in different ways, such as more screens, tosses, handoff, quick slants? So quick slants is the answer to all of the Jameson Williams problems. True or untrue?
Well, honestly, I think the reason that they don't use those more is because that's what they use Khalif for, right? Like that's Khalif. That's a thing where Khalif is really good. He's had some, they've also had a couple hiccups trying to pull those off as well, where they've tried to do a quick sweep or maybe a quick screen or something like that. And they haven't been able to execute it as well as maybe they would have liked. So I think that kind of cuts into Khalif. So if you go back to like those quick slants, though, I do think that lends itself more to how they envision him.
Yeah.
Especially because he's caught a couple of deep balls now that corners are now accounting for his speed and giving him a big cushion.
Right.
And so if they're going to give him a big cushion, run a slant. Run a quick slant, get him the ball, and just let him go. He's tough enough to go over the middle. He's not going to shy away from that. So if you get in a situation where you get a cushion, run it. Just get that ball in his hands quick and see what he can do. I like the idea of maybe like a jet sweep to get him involved early. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's as necessary to get him involved early. I do like the idea of that, though, because I just think putting defenses on notice of his speed right off the bat gets them on their toes and a bit
thinking
jumpy.
about it, right? It makes them start thinking about that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And listen, here's the thing. There's this notion out there that Jameson Williams is only getting the ball at deep shots. And I feel like that's not accurate. They tried a couple different things last week against the Raiders, right? Mm-hmm. They had the big negative play that went to Jameson Williams that didn't work. They did I can't remember what exactly the play was. I remember where on the field it was, but he kind of alligator armed it. He had a drop. He had an interior route, I think, against the Bucks that he was about to get hit. He alligator armed it. Like, I think they've been doing a good job trying to get it in his hands a bunch of different ways. And I think the reason we all think the deep shot is the only thing that they're doing is because that's what he's best at. I think some of this other stuff, like this quick slants, I don't know how good Jameson Williams' release is. I haven't seen a lot. It needs work.
Well, if they get a big cushion, though, that's right. The thing is if you can run him off,
sure,
right? If you can run that corner off, and you get that cushion, right, then you can come back with a quick release. You're not going to get a quick release like in the first series or anything like that. Like you're going to have to work up to it. But he had that comeback route against the Bucks where he just he used his speed. He stopped on a dime, wide open. Yep,
they've tried it, and it's just not there yet. And so I think part of the only reason we're remembering the big plays for JMO is the deep balls, because those are the ones he's capable of making right now. And I also want to push back on this idea that we need to build up Jameson Williams' confidence throughout the game. We have to give him some easy touches so that he doesn't drop the ball later in the game. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't think Jameson Williams drops is a confidence issue. I don't think Jameson Williams has a confidence issue at all. If you talk to him about drops, he acts like it's not a big deal. And you can view that either in a positive or negative way. In a positive way, it's water off a duck's back. It's not something that consumes his thoughts. I don't think he has the yips. I don't think it has anything to do with that. Or you could say he doesn't take it seriously enough. He needs to work on his mechanics. He needs to do more time at the jugs machine, whatever. You can take either side of that. You can take neither side of that. I think his problem with the drops is concentration. I think that's it. I think it's as simple as that. I think he's either overthinking, but it's not a confidence issue. It's just there's too much going on in his head, or there's not enough going on in his head. Whatever it is. I brought this up in a break during one of our podcasts. Go back and watch the touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs against the Ravens. Look at what Jameson Williams is doing in that play. He's lined up offsides. He breaks when the ball is snapped, he's about 2 seconds late to react. That to me is a concentration thing. All of this to me falls under the same cloud where this guy is he's not concentrating where he needs to be. I don't think it's a confidence thing. I think the guy has just got to get his head in the game a little bit more. And it's not that he doesn't like football. It's not that he's disinterested. It's none of that. It's just there's something about concentrating on the details that he's not doing. And I think that's why a lot of this stuff, and a lot of the quick timing routes, right? Like when you want to click quick slant or a quarterback or a wide receiver screen, all of that is about fine-tuned details. If you know anything about Ben Johnson or this offense, they are obsessive over the details. And so if you want comeback routes, if you want quick slants, all of those things need to be precise. And that is precisely what Jameson Williams is not good at right now. And so I think that's why you have the picture of Jameson Williams that we have right now. He's not doing the details right. There's some concentration issues. But the one thing he can do is, if that ball's hanging up in the air for 10 seconds, he can run the hell under it and catch it.
If he's going to make noise this week, it's probably going to be on the underneath stuff, because the Chargers run the Fangio shell, which is basically they want to prevent everything from being deep. So they drop two safeties high, and they run like a shell coverage with their corners. And so this is a game where you're going to run somebody underneath and draw linebackers down and then hit the guy over the middle, right? And so it's going to be a lot of St. Brown, a lot of Laporta, where you're going to like use one guy to open the other and stuff like that. And you can use Jameson in that way. You can also use him to run off that shell and open up underneath as well. And I think that's where his role is going to be utilized is against this defense. But if he's going to catch the ball, it's probably not going to be deep unless they think like they can they have something on the Chargers on a specific play or something like that, because the Chargers defense is designed to try and take the big shots away. So maybe we'll get to see more. Maybe we'll get to see a slant or a square in or something, know, because.
But I'm telling you, like, every single step needs to be right.
No,
right?
I hear you. And if you run the right scheme against this shell, you can get guys in wide open gaps, right?
Yeah.
But you'd almost have to design him to be running into that gap, and then you have to trust that you're going to be able to hit it. At the same time, you could run the same play with St. Brown and know it's going to work.
Right.
So right now, and you know, we're talking about this game, but like right now, they're probably going to run that play with St. Brown or Josh Reynolds.
Right. Trust.
Or Sam Laporta, because like those guys have shown they can do it. I don't know if this is going to be the week that JMO breaks out. So be patient a little bit longer. The right defense is going to come where they're going to run a single high and he's going to split them and it's going to go. And but this is going to be a tougher week to see something like that. And if he's going to make noise, like I said, the underneath stuff is probably where it's at.
Yep. And I think that's a really good point to kind of mirror it with St. Brown, a guy who is all about precision, who has that chemistry with Jared Goff, where he can make the throw blindfolded. He can make the throw with his eyes closed. They're not there with Jameson Williams. And to be clear, I don't want to seem like I'm piling on the guy. That stuff can come. Those details can come. The focus can come. All that sort of stuff. I'm not giving up on Jameson Williams. I'm just kind of giving you the overview of why he hasn't been successful on anything other than the deep stuff. Is just that part of his game is not developed yet. And you wish it had been developed by now, but that doesn't mean it's not going to develop. So I feel like I got worked up there about Jameson Williams, and I'm not trying to bury the kid. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm not saying his career's over. Just some of the stuff that you want to see isn't there yet, and hopefully it does develop. But I think for now, we're going to close things out there. If you want more mailbag, more content, you can always head over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@PrideOfDetroit. Watch the replay of this, where we spent over an hour during our first break, and we're going to have even more content after this final segment ends. You can also go to twitch.tv/PrideOfDetroit, do the same thing. But for Erik, for myself, Jeremy Reisman, we'll see you next time. It's chaos. Be kind.
Recording stopped.
Hey, Tom Grossi's in the chat.
What? Is he really?
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Why did you say that?
Because there's a Packers fan in the chat.
Oh.
He's They seem very upset with us.
Oh, I'm sorry. In YouTube or Twitch?
In Twitch, they were. He was.
Oh.
You took Jameson Williams from us. We're taking the division back. You're gonna lose all the games.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom Grassi though. He was there. He got nominated.
Grassi.
Is it Grassi? He got nominated for the Packers Fan of the Year thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart.
That is pretty cool.
Well, good for the Packers.
I don't know if he's part owner of the team.
Well, everyone's part owner of that team, I think.
Grassi rhymes with posse. There you go. All right. By the way, I did see that. I just want to point out that Uncle Indigo said, "Dang, I agree with Jeremy." So that made me feel good because he likes to be very combative sometimes with me.
Hello. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi. What do you got on your head?
Wave to Jeremy. It's just a little toy. You look like you just got out of a bath. Did you say hi to Jeremy?
It's goofball. Woodchuck Hunter gave 100 bits, by the way. Says Wildcat snap directly to Monty, handoff to Amon-Ra on a jet sweep, laterals to Gibbs, who reverses to JMO. Big setup block by Laporta. JMO throws a dime to Sewell on the back pylon for a 35-yard touchdown in the Super Bowl as time expires.
You get it.
Hi.
She's touching your hat. She's like, oh, look at
This
that
hat?
Look at Jeremy with the silly hat.
Watch this.
Oh, 2.
Ah! I lost one.
You should be going to
Frog
bed
Mark, that's
soon.
mean. Robert Turbrack, thank you for the subscription over on YouTube, by the way. Appreciate you. So we'll answer some more questions here if you guys want. We are up to $8,020 donated to the Alzheimer's Association. $980 away. And then we'll do a spin on the Wheel of Pain, and Erik has 2 eggs with his name on it. I don't know if we'll do both.
2.
Was it 2? I thought it was 2. I could be wrong. Maybe it's no. You know, it's only 1. It's only 1. I lied. Wait, did we get one this stream? I thought we did.
Oh man. Well, if it's a second, if another one has to come, I'd rather just be. God, no sense in both of us getting disgusting.
I feel like it was A.S. Carpenter. Are you still around, buddy? Spielman? I don't know if we got an answer. That was donated this stream.
Who's that?
Oh, okay, you're still here. So did you want that for Erik or for myself? Or save it? I can't remember if you said.
Jeremy, what's your name?
See, Jeremy, what's your name?
No, she says it to everybody. What's my name?
Oh, your name is Erik.
Oh.
Yeah, but what do you call me? What are you supposed to call me?
Oh, Erik.
No, you don't call me Erik. That's her. She figured that out this week. She's like, Laura called me Erik, and she's like, she looked at me kind of funny. And I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. And she's like, oh, okay, Erik.
Save it. Okay. He'll save it. So you only have 1.
Oh, okay.
Egg later 54 HOF. All right. You have been logged. So the only thing we have to do is spin on the Wheel of Pain and 1 egg on Erik.
All right.
Hi.
Yeah, can we start? Yeah, that's a great idea. Can we start getting her to refer to you as the machine?
Oh, she's not going to be able to do that. She's not strong enough.
Gigi. This is the egg.
That is an egg. No, she's not strong enough. Plus, I'm wearing my good shirt.
What's that?
Hold it.
Ready like this.
No.
Daddy
Not in my new shirt.
Daddy on
Here
your
you
head.
go. Oh, I'd rather look. It took me 4 tries to get the other one to learn how to do it. So let's just bring her back out.
Captain James Kirk just donated 100 bits and says, "Let Laura do it."
Well, Laura probably wants to do it, to be honest.
Wow.
Laura, if Laura does it, there might be a spot on your forehead for the next few days.
Hey, KK, come here.
Oh, well, hold on. I'm not ready yet because we're gonna do it at the end, right? Jeremy still has to do a.
You're gonna make me do
spin.
the spin first?
Well, what do you want me to do? The egg and then sit in it for like an hour?
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna be here for another hour. It's already 9 o'clock. All right. One of these days, I'd like to have an evening to myself.
He's not ready.
I'm not ready because I've got all my stuff.
All right, fine. I'll do a spin of the wheel.
My little one has the most evil look on her face right now. Just hold on.
Little one.
Go that way. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna use
She's.
this
I can
slide.
just picture her
Listen to
like practicing on a tree in the backyard all week.
Loading.
All right. Oh,
Last time we kept smashing it.
Go ahead.
Wait, are we doing
yeah,
it?
you are way too excited.
What's happening? Are we doing it right now?
No, you have the wheel up.
Okay.
So he's,
All right, here we go. I'm spinning the wheel.
give the egg to mommy.
I see the wheel.
All right, it's gonna spin. Ready?
Watch
Here we
over
go.
there.
3, 2, 1.
It will.
It is time for more
What Jeremy
Up,
He
downs.
has to do exercises.
Now.
How many?
10.
Now,
It did spin.
if you were
10
here
up,
during
downs.
the
What are
Madden
up, downs?
sim last time, I did 10 up downs.
Jeremy, what are up downs?
They're
He'll show you in a minute.
Yeah, I want to see what up downs are.
we're gonna have to change how we did it last week
No.
because
Oh.
I may have shown
I
a
asked you if you
significant
wanted to go
amount
on
of my
session,
butt
She
crack.
said she wanted to go.
Last
Nice. Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not sure the best way to make sure that I'll just put on a belt, I guess. Yeah, we'll figure this
Jeremy
out.
going first or you going first, Eric?
Hold on.
He's going first.
I think.
Yeah, Jeremy's
Yeah,
going
no,
first.
Jeremy's going first. And
Yeah,
then,
we literally just did the wheel, so he's going first.
oh, they might be cashing. All right. Hold on. I have to get prepared for this. So go ahead.
Evil for Jeremy.
All right. Crazy. Hold on.
Why are you reloading?
Yes, Dan Pask. He's a clever man.
Why did he want me to reload?
Hold on. Oh my god.
We got a belt in place. Oh, we should be good.
Why did he want you to reload?
Where can I put this chair to give me some room?
Oh, it says
That should be
reloading
enough.
because you're redoing the egg.
All right. We'll bring this around again.
Reloading
Bring it a
the
little
egg.
closer.
There we go.
We'll point it down. Wait, I
That's
feel
enough.
like we
Is
were-
there heavy breathing in Jeremy's part yet? Or no, is he done?
We're good, right? Okay. I'm done. All right, 10 up downs. Here we go. Getting in shape. Oh, I feel so cramped here. Let me. What's up, Alex? Oh, you want me to go? Do you really want me to go full screen? All right. Whoops. Hi, Laura. Speaker, but I gotta pin myself. There we go. All right. There you go. Oh, sorry. I see what you guys are talking about now. There you go. All right, here we go. 10 up downs. I can't hear anything anyone's saying, but here we go.
Just listen, girl.
Get on the speakers first.
We're doing burpees too. 1, 2, 3, 4,
You were about this week.
That's a cameo. 6,
Not helping.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
7, 8. That's 10.
Good job, Jer. That was better.
PG version.
Harper.
It's okay. Heavy breathing's fine.
I wish that you could put a video on.
No?
Wearing
Girl.
a red thong? What do you mean?
That's his belt.
How's the view that time? You're muted, Eric. I don't know if you know that. Oh.
Yeah.
He's muted because he's yelling at our child.
Oh. He's parenting.
was-
He's parenting our child.
I was instructed. Exactly. Thank you. Okay. How you feeling?
I kind of hit the ground really hard there. I don't know if you could tell from the thumps. Huh?
What'd you hit? With what? What'd
Oh,
you
just
hit?
like on my way down, I feel like I didn't cushion myself as much as I could have. So like,
Maybe get you like
My
those
re-
little square tiles, like those comfy square tiles. So you
No.
don't hurt yourself.
he didn't have much room.
yeah, I'm dealing with not like I'm touching the wall behind me here.
Say knock.
It's an
knock,
optical
Dad.
illusion.
Gigi wants to go knock knock.
Well,
on
you
your
all right?
Gigi.
Go get us.
Yeah, Gigi, ready.
No, okay. You need.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let Gigi try.
Captain James Kirk with 100 bits says let Laura do it. I think we already read that one. Then it says 10 bits says tell Laura about tell
Making-
Laura about his making his part of the bed comment, then have her do it.
What?
I'm muting and unmuting because my children are hurting themselves, and it's a lot of fun.
I did read your lips there. I saw one thing you said.
What did I say?
Jesus Christ.
No, I did. Did I?
You sure did.
Maybe. Counts as a swear.
No, it doesn't. No, I didn't injure myself. I'll be fine. Although, ask me in the morning if I did. We'll see. Just an FYI, in the Army, it's called a 5-count push-up, which includes an actual push-up while you're down there. That's what I do. I essentially do a push-up while I'm down there. No. I'm not going to do that. I was sore for a good 2 to 3 days after my first 10 up downs that I've had to do, which seems a little embarrassing.
Maybe we're getting in better shape.
Maybe.
All right. I'm gonna prepare myself for
Okay.
my exhibition.
Go for it.
We need to check though if it's 1 or 2.
It's
because
1.
I thought I saw one redeemed though while you were right when you were about to do your up downs. So double check that it's
You
still.
want me to scroll up?
No. I just want to make sure. I don't know who had the. See.
Oh, okay. Spielman
So-
wants to cash in his egg for an extra one for the girls. Is that
All right. So I have to prepare my.
okay? Yes. 2. It is officially 2. Good catch. Thank you, everybody. How much longer is the stream? Probably about 10 minutes, I would guess. Eric's about to get 2 eggs to the face via his daughters, and I'm imagining he's probably not going to want to stay around much longer. I don't believe I have one this stream. I'm egg free. To be fair, I took what is this? A Gallagher show? Boo! Boo! I don't approve of this. All right, you took it off. I appreciate that. You're also still muted, by the way. You're muted if you're trying to talk to me.
It's just comedic effect.
Okay.
Comedic. Please don't get egg on all of my stuff.
All right, you ready? You're gonna go.
Glasses on or off?
Oh. Oh.
All right,
Oh, that was much better than when you did it.
time for your turn.
Oh, it's
Your turn.
my forearm. Oh.
Just for fun.
Oh, you got a freebie.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught most of that egg. All right. So do I get one in the bank or
That's a good question. I think maybe Laura has to donate $100 now.
this one's yellow? Oh man, there's like eggshells coming out of my hair. Look at this. I look like
There's one right there.
I mean, oh, look at this. My hair. I look like I'm in a 70s movie.
Yeah, no, it that's what happened with my hair. It actually looks kind of nice, like slicked back. Just, slicked back hair.
Look, like
It's not pulled back; it's slicked back.
Gosh. No, mine. Oh, it's in my eye. Well, that was exciting. I'm covered. It's not. There's a lot of yolk. Just, I mean, it's bad.
The people are enjoying it, though.
What's that?
I said the people are enjoying it, though.
Well, my gosh. Laura brought 2 eggs out and apparently had a third one hidden, huh?
Yeah.
Great.
So just tell her she owes us $100.
I will. I can't like I'm not gonna be able to shut this stream off.
Get a
honestly,
towel.
I don't.
How did you not have a towel?
The paper towel is way over there because I thought my family would stay and help me. Instead, they smashed the third egg on me and ran.
It was a hit and run.
And I caught a bunch of it. And if she wasn't wearing her work clothes, probably would have gotten some revenge. But instead, every inch. Look at, there's still egg stuck to my finger. Just, there's still shell.
Ooh, I like
I'm
that.
shaking.
The smash and dash.
Yes. I feel like a house on Halloween. That's not going to help me. Can I have the paper towel, please?
Yes,
Thank you. Oh, gosh. Thank you.
it was a drive by freedom.
That's right. Mrs. Doubtfire style.
I don't do that yet.
Okay.
I'm regretting now taking the bag off because I thought that was pretty slick, but I should have just kept it on.
No, I disagree. It's cheating.
Well, apparently, if there's 10 teams, 9 of them are cheating, and if you're not cheating, you're in last place. I heard that one today.
I feel like I know what that's in reference to.
I saw that multiple times today.
10 teams, though? I feel like we're at 12 now, and we're about to be at more than that.
I don't. Oh, it is. It's in.
What do you need?
How much for Erik to smash an egg on Laura? That's a great question, AZ Lions fan.
I know.
Jeremy said you owe us $100 now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
I needed to get it out of my eye, but like, am I allowed to like clean up? Or is that like?
We're about to
I
leave.
have to sit in this.
Ooh, I got an update from Streamlabs about notifications. Hopefully those will come back too. By the way, we have been getting notifications about donations, but they're not the notifications that I want. I have set up separate donations. The way I have them now, I don't get to customize the sound. I just have like pre-built sounds. I have one that I think you guys are gonna really like, and hopefully we can have them actually show up and happen. I'll have to read this email to see where they're at, but I don't know how much Laura would agree to for a revenge egg. Probably way more than you guys are capable of.
I have long hair. That would take a while.
She's not even gonna name a price. She knows better.
Yeah. You know my bottom line, Jeremy. I write your dating profile. I get egg in the face.
Oh, oh!
This
is turning into a negotiation. Well, we'll talk about that off air.
The worst part about this is that there's egg everywhere. Like, it's not just in one spot. Like, it's all over the floor. Oh man, this is definitely worse than the 4 last time. By the way, I'm up to 7 eggs.
What?
Yeah. Only 3 of them have actually connected, and then Laura's connected. But like they've used 7 eggs on me now.
I'll tell you what, chat. Behind the scenes, we might add a full charity goal at some point.
What's that?
Of Laura and Ivy, Alex's wife, writing my dating profile. But that will also include Laura getting an egg to the face.
Oh wait, I'm not allowed to wipe that off.
You can do that.
I avoid Dan's. I don't want to ruin Dan's money.
We're about to go off air. You can do it. Sweaty Doofus, by the way, 14 months subscribed to the channel, says break an egg for every month I've subbed. No. Donate $1,400 and yes.
It's in the beard.
I would like to. All right. Well, this is a negotiation. So maybe if we set a certain amount, those two can write a dating profile for me, but they will also have to pay by getting an egg in the face.
There's got to be some stipulations though, where that dating profile like can't be altered by you within a certain time frame and stuff like that. So don't think you're slick,
all right,
right?
Mr. Fine Print.
Oh, watch the egg. There's egg on the floor, and I'm not sure how that got there. But, good night.
I believe she's taken Spielman, so that was not going to happen. Not that it would, anyways. But I mean, I could put it at 60,000. I'd be surprised if we get there, but I mean, you never know. Either way, I think we got to get out of here.
Did you see that? By the way,
huh?
Did you see that?
What?
Okay, I'll tell you off air.
Okay. What dating app? I don't know. We'll work out the details. You guys don't need to worry about the details. We'll work it out, and Erik will keep me honest. All right. Let's get out of here. We're gonna send you over. Where should we send you guys today?
Wherever you sent them last night, man, she was very appreciative.
Yeah, no, she's great. But she is usually just live during sporting events, and there's nothing sporty happening right now. So we're going to send you over to Headshot Chick, a friend of our good friend Jonathan Blevins. She is a Fortnite streamer. I know she's having a lot of fun with the new OG season. She's rated us once before, too, so let's return the favor. She is a PG family stream, so please keep it PG over there. No swearing, no inappropriate talk, family-friendly stream. So please be mindful of that. Have fun. Send her all of our love, our positivity. And we will see you again either tomorrow night or Thursday night. I'm still working on a Chargers guest. As you may suspect, it's not easy to find a Chargers guest for a team that is not that popular. But we'll have our first bite sometime then. And then Man Sim is going to be, I think, early on Friday. So be on the lookout for that. Until then, thank you again for an amazing stream, for all of the donations, for all of the resubs, for all of the chats, the people on YouTube also donating to the stream. You guys are amazing. Truly, truly appreciate it. I hope you guys are having as much fun with Movember as we are. And we'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.
Harper came to say goodbye. I told her not to step on the egg. And when I told her